Scored in 63 points. The night.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Don't sacrifice.
The sports animal. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, it's almost like we can speak it into existence. Almost like, hey, we talk about it, if we suggest it, maybe it'll happen. Or, hear me out, or maybe we had absolutely nothing to do with it. But I mean, we did talk about it, and it will happen, and we had nothing to do with it. Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Thursday to you, and welcome to the opening drive. Thank you for finding us on 95.9 FM at AM 610, The Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, he is JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
It do, man. How's the morning? You all right?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Let's keep it that way. We talked about what would be right for New Mexico Lobo basketball moving forward after this season, and why not just include this season? What do you want for a non-conference game? They needed something on the home non-conference schedule that made the fans say, all right, I'm looking forward to that one. And this may not blow your socks off per se, but this is one of those games where you looked at and said the West Coast Conference is sitting there. Santa Clara is a good program. We played them last year. You were going to play a closed-door scrimmage with them. This is the type of program probably moving forward you're going to see home and homes with, or at least you hope so. And so yesterday they announced a home-and-home basketball series with the West Coast Conference's Santa Clara. That'll start December 6th at the Pit. They'll go back to the Levy Center back in California the next season. And so at least, as I look at the home schedule, I mean, outside of conference play, I guess that's the jewel on there, right?
Yeah, it is right now for the home slate. You look at what you're trying to do year one coming in, the connections you have, a lot of course, West Coast, California stuff from Eric Olin. You see that with Santa Clara or UC Riverside, and they're popping up on the schedule. It wasn't going to be a bonkers schedule year one. It wasn't going to be something where we saw it, last year where we built it up in St. John's and UCLA along those lines. I think, Olin, as he builds his team, as he looks ahead to what next year holds for the Mountain West Conference, we'll have to take more chances than we've seen in the past because it's going to be difficult to have meaningful conference games in a new-look Mountain West Conference. Year one schedule, I'm not concerned. I knew it was going to be a bit of a challenge. You weren't going to necessarily swing for the fences right away, but you did at least get a good home-and-home We get to see Santa Clara in there instead of having that be a closed-door scrimmage. Start a home and home there. And, it's also just figuring out how far you want to travel, where you want to travel. When you look at D1 institutions in the West, you're losing a big chunk of teams that you want to play, and they were your conference foes. So then you start looking into, what do you do in Utah? Is it Utah Valley? Is it Weber State? Things along those lines, and that's a real question.
Well, I think you've got to start scheduling the schools that are leaving, and home and home. You say you're losing them, and you are, but it feels to me Colorado State, San Diego State should be naturals. Those should be series that continue. I think you'd love to schedule a home and home with Utah State. I don't know that they want anything to do with you. San Diego State, you'd like to believe Steve Fisher sees a value. He goes out and schedules, right? He's not afraid. They play teams every year. He's trying to play a Gonzaga-like schedule. But the history between those two teams, you'd like to believe that they would do a home and home. Colorado State, Ali Farouk-Manesh, their new head coach, has already talked to Jeff Grammer about that, and he's expressed interest in doing that while not saying absolutely. Why not Boise State? They're all looking for games too now, right? They're all looking for games too, and if they're looking for a game that you figure will not hurt you in your net ranking if you get beat, why not come to the pit and have them come up to your place wherever it happens to be? So I look at it in that respect. I agree with you. I hope there, and I know we talked about this with Jason Eck, and with football. I hope that there is some sort of patience, and I know patience is not a word that is ever associated with a fan base, right? And especially a fan base that has had some relative success over the last couple of years, and that's this Louisville basketball fan base. This is what you got. A buddy of mine said, just told me over the weekend, he got his call, and hey, your basketball tickets, your payment is due, right? The other day, whatever it was. First of all, he said they never asked him to buy football tickets, which is like, I would have if they would have asked. Secondly, I asked what the schedule is. They're like, I don't know, but do you want your tickets? Right? I mean, that's kind of, you're just selling, hey, you're here to see your team. So, JJ, I think it goes for a year. I think, people understand kind of what you're saying for a year. Next year you get New Mexico State on the schedule, so you'll have that game back home. You needed something to kind of point at and say, hey, Santa Clara is coming to town. Not Santa Claus. Santa Clara is coming to town. And there's something for you to look forward to on the home schedule. Because, to your point, the way he's scheduling, VCU on the road, Nebraska and Mississippi State in a neutral site, or Kansas State, whoever you get in the second game, and New Mexico State on the road. So there is a little meat on the bone on the schedule on the road, but you needed something to entice people into the pit a little bit.
Yeah, and the reality of it, the challenge of it, is even last year's schedule, you had to go to New York, and you had to meet UCLA in a neutral court. So when you're talking power conference teams, you're going to have to play those guys on the road or MTEs, but I like if you can continue. VCU is wrapping up the home and home series that Patino started. Santa Clara, at least two of those on the schedule a year would be nice.
And that's what I'm saying. Last year you had VCU and New Mexico State, right? I don't care if New Mexico State is net ranked 326.
There's people
still
going.
Right. The place fills up. It's still New Mexico State. You still give a damn. There's still something to it, and they still might beat you, right? So I don't care. And have you heard anything further on the talk of getting back to playing twice a year?
No, there was, I think, a couple weeks ago, it popped up in a story, and it hasn't been anything further, but it's something that I know you can keep saying it over and over. It matters for both universities. It works, especially as it's so hard to schedule. These schools need to play twice, but it's, and kind of circling back to selling something, we're sitting here. I still don't have a women's basketball schedule. Men's schedule is kind of pieced it together a lot, but we don't know the conference schedule. So you're talking about selling tickets, but they don't really see schedules.
Yeah, and we don't have conference schedules because everything was ripped up when Grand Canyon was added. And so the conference is still, they basically had to go back and redo the women's schedules. You don't have a women's soccer conference schedule yet? Is that what you said?
No, women's basketball.
Women's basketball.
Yeah, but I'm saying and these have come out late usually. Now they've kind of dropped nuggets, both programs, but you're discussing, how to get people interested. It's just, you hope they like basketball if they continue buying tickets, but it's always kind of been late in the game trying to figure these things out.
Yeah, I wonder how many places can just flat out say, "Hey, I know you like our team. Come by. Well, who are you playing? It doesn't matter. Just come out and buy." And here, New Mexico is one of those places where you can flat out say, "Yeah, that's cool. We're buying Lobo basketball. It doesn't matter who we're playing." And but I don't know that that's the majority of places. All right, so here's your non-conference schedule for which you bought your season tickets. October 30th exhibition game against Northern Arizona in the Pit. They'll open up November 5, East Tennessee. What day of the week is November 5? Probably like a Tuesday right after a basketball game, I think. Is that right? November 5 is it is a Wednesday. All right, and so then they'll play November. Is there football November 8th? They play at home. Do you know? November 8th they play UT Arlington, and then a few days later they play UC Riverside. All of those are in the Pit. So Northern Arizona out of the Big Sky, East Texas A&M out of the Southland, I think. UT Arlington, I believe, still in the WAC. UC Riverside out of the West Coast Conference. November 15th is Saturday. That's the day that football plays Colorado State in the afternoon at home. They will be in Las Cruces to play the Aggies. And then the next week they go on a Thursday and a Friday to Kansas City. They'll play Nebraska in the first round and then either Kansas State or Mississippi State. So you get two power conference teams there. You open up with a Big Ten team, and then you either get a Big 12 team or an SEC team. Come back, it's Alabama State in the Pit on the 26th. And then there's a big gap, November 26th and December 10th. I got to believe something's filling in there, right?
Oh, yeah. It's probably a Division II opponent or so.
So they do. Remember last year they had an early conference game. They played San Jose State really early.
Might have one of those slip in.
No,
that's a possibility, especially with 20-game schedule that we're looking at. And by the way, there no football Saturday, November 8th.
Okay, and then December 10th they'll be at VCU back in Richmond, Virginia. So that'll be their big road trip. So that's what you got, Lobo fan. How do you feel? Is patience even something that enters your mind when you think about your beloved basketball program, as you have a brand new first-year head coach, scheduling, new schedule, new roster, pick it, everything. Maybe they get new uniforms. I don't know. I think they're going to keep the same fight song, and I think they're keeping the same mascot, is what I'm told. Right? And they're still going to play in the Pit, so that's all the same. How do you feel about that? 505-246-0610 is how to get in today. That'll be the phone number. That is also the Sports Animals text line, 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning, jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, jj@sportsanimalabq.com. JJ's on the X. It's _JJ Buck on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Adrian is up early this morning producing our TV show. You can watch us there. I'm in, looks like I'm like in the dark in a closet somewhere. Not in a closet. But not in the studio today either. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. You can watch us on Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico, on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. We got a lot to do today. Looking forward to catching up with our good friend Jerry Palm today. It'll be our first of the season. He is now the proprietor of Palm Brackets, his new website. So we'll catch up with Jerry as we go into week 0, get his thoughts on college football, the former bracketologist and writer over at CBS Sports. And I got a ton to do with the NFL because there's trades and there's injuries and there's, if you don't say Micah Parsons in the first segment in this region of the country, I think you get fired. So Micah Parsons, okay, we've settled that as well. So ton to do. Come on in and play radio at 505-246-0610. Hey, school's underway. You're in your car a lot. You're spending a ton of time in your vehicle coming off of a summer of adventures. How's your vehicle look? And I know it looks like mine. It needs on-the-spot automotive detailing. You've just been on road trips. You've got junk all through it. You're going to spend a lot of time in that vehicle. It's fall. That's how it is. Want to spend time and have on-the-spot automotive detailing come out and detail your vehicle. They come to you where it's convenient, when it's convenient, and they detail your vehicle. That's what the auto dealers do. Remember when you took your car off the lot, your car looked and your car looked and felt and smelled brand new. You can have that new car feel without the new car price. They come to you at the office, at your home, wherever. You don't have the option to take it to them. I don't know where their office is. It doesn't matter. You don't sit around, wait for hours, and need a ride back. And they've also been voted best in the city. You know why? Because they're best in the city at what they do. Talk to them about ceramic coating and paint protection film as well to keep yourself safe from rock chips and bugs and UV damage. And they also are experts in window tinting. Book and buy. It's all online. On the spot automotive detailing. They're at otsdetailing.com. That is otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Jeff Symbieta, J. Buck, thanks for finding us this morning, as you always do, on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. I want to remind you about our big birthday bash. It is coming up on Saturday. We will be at Ex Novo Brewery right there on 7th and Central. And boy, do we got prizes, JJ. I mean, I saw the new list of prizes and foods, and we're going to have a little 31st annual bash coming up. We'll be there from noon till 4 on Friday afternoon, so come by and say hello and be a part of what we're doing, as you've been a part for the last 31 years. Mystery boxes from All in Autographs, plus we'll have tickets to the UNM New Mexico State football game, which is coming up later in the month. Tickets to the UNM Utah State football game. That's a big deal, right? Bronco Mendenhall's coming back to town. So
2 pretty good games.
Yep, 2 good games we'll have tickets for. All in Autographs, signed jerseys, tickets to Offspring, Pantera, Falling in Reverse, Breaking Benjamin, Alice Cooper. We got all kinds of stuff to give away. So they didn't ask me for anything. They didn't say, hey, I guess Misled New Mexico Bowl doesn't fit into any of that category. I mean, I might have chipped in something too, you know.
I think there's some ways that you could definitely get the people involved.
Might be a little
with
late
some
now.
Misled New Mexico Bowl prizes.
Yeah, I don't know what to do now. So we'll see you all out there at Ex Novo. Looking forward to that. All right. So I thought this was equally a big story too. We've talked ad nauseum about money, right? We just athletic budgets and money, and it's vital, and the state's going to have to step up. And where do you go? You had New Mexico and New Mexico State sitting side by side in front of the Legislative Finance Committee yesterday. And they were in Las Cruces, and they were talking about why they need more, what they would do with more money. And I think this was important. And so I understand that there's a search that is active at New Mexico State right now for an athletic director, that Amber Burge is the acting athletic director, and she has applied, and we'll see where this goes. But, JJ, the fact that the two of them, while not asking for specific numbers, and there were no promises that were made back in return, that they present a united front. It can't be, hey, we need, and this is why we need instead of them. And I think that resonates way better with lawmakers as opposed to, hey, I don't care about them. And I don't know how you feel about that.
It sounds like it did. And the reading reports from multiple writers that were covering what was going on yesterday, it seems like that was something that was impactful. And it's one that you really have to do. You have to present why D1 athletics matters, why these universities need the support. And we know that it hasn't necessarily been the same for both in terms of the money that they've gotten, but in terms of stepping up to the plate together, I think it went well in that presentation.
It was in Las Cruces, and is it Grammer who went down? Who wrote this story? It is Jeff Grammer who went down. And Fernando Lobo, his quote, one of his quotes in Grammer's story is that basically it was his idea, I guess. He asked Amber Burge, the way the story is presented, if she would be willing to present together. He said, let's come into this unified. We've been asked to come talk about the future of Division I athletics in New Mexico. Let's do this together as representatives of that and articulate our needs, our case, our challenges together because we're facing similar situations, end quote. And I think he's right. Amber said that the presentation, in her words, underscores the value of collaboration as we both work to strengthen opportunities for student athletes across the state while still celebrating a healthy rivalry. That was part of her quote. And she said that the discussion left her encouraged about the future assistance. I think that there has been a swing, and I don't know how you feel about this, that there has been a swing in perception from legislators. Now, the legislature has turned over quite a bit, okay? And I think people are starting to realize there's a chart that Grammer put in the Journal this morning, and the average budgets of the Mountain West and the teams that are going to the Pac-12. And New Mexico's annual budget for athletics, the University of New Mexico, is a little over $54 million, with the average at 68. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, and we've talked about this when conferences have come. There's minimum investment. They talk about investment. What are you going to do? Oregon State led it at $112 million. San Diego State at $96 million. And the majority of the schools, well, all the schools that are leaving, except for Utah State, are above them. And now Utah State's going to bring theirs up. I've told you this a lot of times. And in Conference USA, New Mexico State is right below average. The average is $42 million, and theirs is $40 million. Upping the budget, putting money into this, does not guarantee you win, right? Upping the budget, putting money into something does not guarantee success. Not putting money into the budget guarantees you will not have long-term success. Now, you're going to sit here and say, Jeff, that's not right. Look where UNM is, and look at all the success they've had. They've won championships in cross country and track and field and softball, and they won basketball this year. And you're right. Last year, you're right. What about football? Yeah, I don't care about football, Jeff. Well, you better, because football is the reason you've been left behind, and that's really what I think these two athletic directors have been saying.
And it's a way to generate revenue to continue to help your basketball program. Like, the basketball program is not going to stay steady or get better if they keep falling behind in this new landscape. With revenue sharing on deck, with the potential for one more seismic shift that could determine what college athletics looks like for the next 20 or 30 years here in the next 4 to 5 years. If you're not investing in what you're doing, you're not going to get better. You're not going to hold to the standard that Lobo fans have for men's basketball, and you're going to start slipping and falling behind. And you're not just going to be able to be like, hey, we like basketball, so we're going to be good at it.
I think everybody who's in college athletics has a firm belief that while the shakeups we've seen, the realignment that we have seen, whether it started wherever you think it started, whether it was USC and UCLA going to the PAC, or Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC, or wherever you think it started, that as big as it was not the big round. That the next round is really going to completely reform everything. And so that's why, you've got everybody jockeying. Everyone from Clemson and Florida State and North Carolina and Miami, right? Everybody is, to New Mexico and New Mexico State. And this is really important in regards to the money. And, I know George Munoz, who's the vice chair of the Legislative Finance Committee, is a supporter of athletics, but he's going to hold you accountable. He talked about you raised fees and how you're going to keep players, and there's mistakes made, and their support. They're not just going to blindly give you money, and I don't think anybody wants them to just blindly give you money without a plan in place and knowing that taxpayer money is going to be used to the benefit of the majority of New Mexicans. But I think that this was a good step yesterday by every account. And moving forward and getting support and bringing athletic programs where they need to be. So, I know Aggies and Lobos, you fight and you bicker, but you also hang out together and you party together, and maybe often you live together, right? And that's kind of what this is yesterday. I think these two athletic directors who are both in their first year, right? They're both within 6 months, 8 to 9 months of being on the job. I think they realize the importance of working together, and I think I applaud them. I do. I applaud Fernando and Amber for getting together and presenting a united front to the legislature instead of, here's what I need, I don't really care what they need, here's why I need more, as opposed to, we're both kind of in the same spot, and they are. They're in very similar positions, and I think that there's a cliche that says high tides raise all boats, and I think if you can get a high tide because there is money there, then it could raise both of those boats. But I'd like to hear what you have to say at 505-246-0610. You're welcome to get in on that one as well. 505-246-0610. When do we do the fantasy football thing? Is that today?
Yeah, we want to do it today.
Yeah, we just got a question on the from Travis on the text line, so we'll hit that 9 o'clock today. We'll take, if you got draft stuff, fantasy football stuff, we'll do that at 9 o'clock on Fridays, and JJ will come up with some cute little name. We'll find something for it. Hey, if you've been the victim of a home or business break-in, you know all too well. It takes hours, if not days, for police to respond. Not because they don't do their job well, but there's just not enough officers. There's a shortage. But when it's you, when it's your home, when it's your property, you need a quicker response. How about 7 minutes or less? That's the typical response time for customers of International Protective Service. That's IPS. They've got officers strategically placed all around Albuquerque, now in Santa Fe. They react quickly. IPS provides standing guards. If you want eyes around your property around the clock, they will install alarms, camera systems. They've got a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. It raises the level of security around your home and business. It's affordable private security in a time where affordable private security is much needed. I've trusted IPS for years. They watch my home. They make my family feel safer, give us a peace of mind. When we travel, they pick up newspapers if we need it, or roll garbage cans to the curb and back. They pick up stuff that's left on the porch. They do exterior checks. All these things keep you secure. Look, you've worked too hard to build what you've got. Don't let the bad guys come in and destroy it. And don't wait to be a victim. Be proactive on this one, because then it's too late. Call IPS at 505-897-2420. Area code 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. See what they can do for you. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze.
I believe that's right. Just trying to convert time zones, dude. 8:30. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. You found us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Lobo Hobo's in on the Santa Clara home and home. He says, where are you now, Jeffy? And he says, you're right. This doesn't blow my socks off. This needs to be a buy game. You don't waste a home and home on Santa Clara. Don't you? You kind of do. I don't know if it's wasting, JJ. This is kind of exactly where I thought they would land right now with a home and home with men's basketball. Lobo Hobo's not impressed. I didn't expect this to blow your socks off. I don't think this is one of those we got a home and home with UCLA kind of a things. It's a home and home with, and I know you don't want to hear this, a program that looks a lot like you, that is reputable, that will help you, certainly not help your net ranking, and it's what you can do right now. I don't know what, in the future, when, again, these current Mountain West teams who are leaving for the Pac, they too will be looking to schedule non-conference games, right? They too are going to be looking for games that help their profile, their resume. Next year, I would expect at least one, JJ, if not two, former Mountain West teams who left for the Pac to be on the non-conference schedule next year. Is that fair?
I would hope so.
I mean, the only reason not would be there's animosity. We don't need you. We're not. But everybody who's leaving respects New Mexico's basketball program and what the Pit is and what UNM is. And if you're looking for a decent home and home, and I got to believe everybody is, then, look, I get it. You don't want to play Air Force? Understood, right? You don't want to go to San Jose State? I got you. You're not doing a home and home with Hawaii? Fine. But New Mexico makes a ton of, and UNLV makes sense for those schools to schedule. So we'll see where you go with that.
Dude, Santa Clara was a top 60 team in KenPom last year.
Well, Lobo Hobo's not impressed.
Yeah.
He wants Colorado, UCLA, Oregon. Right? And you're not getting that. So, all right, HB says, opening drive inspired fantasy football team names. Jeff, this year I will be Kiss My Grits. That's actually pretty good. And the Mercenaries. Okay. All right. Whatever happened to our board? It got erased. And we
just haven't updated it throughout the summer.
Throughout the year, man, good stuff pops up on that thing. Good stuff pops up. All right, I got the Travis will hit your fantasy football question coming up at 9 o'clock. All right, baseball last night. What the hell's going on with your Rockies? Can they chill out a little bit? They've taken 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. San Diego wins. They beat San Francisco last night, and we are back down to a 1-game lead in the National League West. Shohei Ohtani got lit up. 5 runs, 9 hits in 4 innings. He took a line drive off of his body, and the Rockies win last night. What was the number? 8-3, I believe, was the score. And that combined with the Padres winning, it's a 1-game lead for Los Angeles. The Dodgers did, what, 10 in a row from the Rockies? They finished the series. They sweep San Diego. Is this just totally one of those where you take your foot off the gas, you look away for a second? The Rockies have been playing well now. I understand that, right? In fact, the Rockies over the last 25 games, have a better record than Los Angeles, which is somewhat crazy in its own right. I don't want to say they're turning it around, but this is a different team. They certainly look a lot better than they did 2 months ago. Does Colorado, and does Los Angeles, for that matter.
Right, you start with it's Michael Conforto's fault.
Always is.
Whatever's wrong with the Dodgers, it's
That's
just
right.
because Conforto's in the lineup.
Yep.
So
Fair.
because he's
Yep.
on the roster, Shohei Ohtani struggled on the mound. So we start there, blame it on Michael Conforto. What the heck? Go to Dave Roberts, not keeping this team motivated, not focused, not locked in. How could you have a hangover? You just thought it was going to be easy playing the Colorado Rockies.
Who didn't?
So, Roberts his seat should be super hot right now for the performance that they've had in this series. And then you go to that's sports, man.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it? I mean, just where the Rockies have come from, and they're going to have something to say with the way this thing plays out. So we are down to a 1-game lead. They play again today? Is there a game today? Is it day baseball? I don't have the schedule in front of me. Dodgers 1 game's clear of San Diego, and the Rockies only have 90 losses. We're going to hit September. They're not going to hit that 100 by then. That's for certain. Off day today? No, where am I? Where the hell am I? Today's the day game today, 1:10. Clayton Kershaw goes for LA against Dollander. And then the Dodgers go to sunny San Diego. What happens to San Diego this weekend? Dodgers disrupt the Padres. Giants could fall even.
Fall just like that.
Did you see that? Jared as an hole. Whoa. What happens in San Diego this weekend? I mean, the Padres, after getting stung last week, could come hit right back and find themselves in a great spot by the time we convene on Monday.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, though. I know the Dodgers coming off that sweep. You still look at it, man. These are the Padres and Dodgers, 2 of the 4 best teams in the National League. The race has been phenomenal. You saw the response from LA over the weekend. You expect San Diego to bounce back, and there's just the season is so long, the ebbs and flows.
Yeah,
like I know it's frustrating, right? If you're a Dodgers fan, you're like, how the heck can we lose 2 of 3 so far to the Rockies? Well, there's a little bit of the Rockies came in a little bit hot. There's the down moment, and it's just again, I don't worry at all about the Dodgers at any moment in time.
Well, let's see what we say on Monday when that's said and done. Blue Jays still 4 clear of the Yankees in the American League East. I'm going to get to see the Tigers tomorrow night. The Tigers are 10 clear now of Kansas City, and Kansas City comes into Detroit to play at Comerica. But the Tigers won again yesterday. They got the best record of the American League. Detroit baseball, 76-53 are they. And then the Astros now have opened up a 1.5 lead over the Mariners. The Mariners are on this 9-game East Coast swing. National League, Phillies are 6.5 better than the Mets. Milwaukee, who's been really hot, cooled off a bit, but they are 6 games clear of the Cubs. And then, of course, the West, the Dodgers, the Padres. All right, when we get back, a bunch of NFL stuff to go through, including a bullet that was shot through Andy Reid's office. Like, what the hell? I was on the plane yesterday watching. Have you seen The Kingdom? Did you watch any of the ESPN long format thing on the Chiefs and their season?
I watched some of it last night.
They do such good work, man. Such good work. Caught a little of that on the plane. But this story was really crazy. I'll hit you with this one when we get back. Hey, have you thought about remodeling a bathroom? Yeah, so have I. Rebath of Albuquerque is who you should call. Rebath of Albuquerque is the largest full bath remodeling company in the country. They're the fastest growing, but of Albuquerque means they're locally owned and operated by people you know. Cole McCamey, his wife Sarah McCamey, own Rebath. Cole, the former Lobo quarterback. Sarah comes from a long respected family doing business in Albuquerque. She graduated from the Anderson School of Business. Great people who I consider friends, and I suggest you give them a call because we've all heard the stories about nightmare remodels that last forever, that they just go on and on for months. This is not that. They are done within 5 days. They do full bathroom remodels. How can they do that? Because they're efficient, they're convenient. They dedicate a crew to your job, and when the crew is dedicated to your job, they don't go anywhere else. They finish your job, and they do it perfectly. They are guaranteed. They are warranted. This is all about efficiency. You don't know what you want? They'll take care of that for you. They got tons of samples for you to look through. Their showroom is spectacular. I walked through it. I was amazed by everything that was in there. If you do know what you want, they'll walk you through that as well. There's a lot that goes into bathroom remodels. Rebath will take care of everything, gives you complete peace of mind. There is zero risk. They handle everything from A to Z. Call them for an estimate. They'll send a design consultant out to your home. There's no high pressure on this. There's no, hey, you got to buy today or the price. None of that. You're going to love working with Rebath of Albuquerque, but more so, you're going to love your new bathroom. They're online, rebath.com. Click on the Albuquerque site and then give them a call. Schedule an appointment, 505-312-8922. Area code 505-312-8922. It is Rebath of Albuquerque.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have.
It didn't come out until now because it happened in May of 2024. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck encourage you to get in today at 505-246-0610. JJ, if this happened in Albuquerque, first of all, I think it would be on everybody's news, and everybody said, "Oh, Albuquerque, we're so horrible, and it only happens in Albuquerque." Well, it happens in other places as well. A bullet penetrated the glass in the practice facility office of Chiefs coach Andy Reid while he was working alone in it last year. This is a report in the Kansas City Star. And he was unharmed. But the report says the shot was fired from outside the Chiefs facility in Kansas City. It went through the glass of his office, lodged into a wall about 15 feet from where he was sitting. It was a little bit after midnight. I mean, first of all, there's so much in this. How about Andy Reid in May is still in his office at midnight? Like, I mean, how do you become a champion? No days off, no, right? The fact that it's May. I mean, what says off season more than May in football? Like, when is it more off season? Never. He's 67 years old, and he now has bulletproof glass protecting him in the office. There's so much in this, dude. 3 gunshots hit this facility that night. One hit the 3rd floor, which is above his office. The other hit an air conditioning unit. No other people were there that night. Nobody was struck by gunfire, and there's no arrest. This is crap. First of all, how does this stay quiet for this long?
No idea.
Well, okay, I guess the initial or the right reaction is thank goodness he's okay, right? I mean that's first and foremost. There's no comment from the Chiefs on this thing, and I guess he'll be asked about it when he speaks now after the final preseason game on Friday. Dude, if this happened in our town, people would lose. I mean, and they should lose their mind, by the way. But it would be, oh well. I mean, see, Albuquerque. It only this crap happens everywhere, which is one of the first things I took from this, because you always think Kansas City, oh, it's a safe place, Middle America, Kansas City, Missouri. What's more wholesome than that? When I read the story the first time I saw it, I just gasped. Like, midnight, someone shooting at the Chiefs facility? I don't know. I read you the story. You don't have to have a reaction on it.
It's one. Was it someone just out shooting? Was it a targeted attack? Just someone pissed off they didn't win the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Eagles won. Was it a Bills fan that was pissed off? Or was it? I don't know. I don't know. All right. Lamar Jackson had his foot stepped on in practice. We talk about this all the time. Didn't we have this conversation last week about stepping on foot, or was that the day Zay was there? I remember watching Hard Knocks last week, and Josh Allen stepped on KJ Hamler's foot. Just like after a play, just kind of walking backwards. Oh! And, oh, sorry, bro. And Allen walks off, and Hamler was mic'd, and Hamler's like, damn, dude, Josh just stepped on. Damn, that hurts, dog. Like, but he's Josh Allen. I can't really say anything, right? You'd think of, oh, he just stepped on your foot. Jackson was knocked to the ground in practice, stayed on the field a little bit, but they say he avoided. He's fine, right? He was flexing his right wrist, but no problems with Lamar Jackson here?
No, he's good.
Just because it's Lamar Jackson and
you banged up a little bit, you leave the practice field, it's going to be news, but he's all good.
Yeah. Tylan Wallace was one of their receivers. We'll keep him in our prayers and hope he's doing great. I don't know that I mean, pray for him. That's cool. I'm not telling you don't pray. But it's Lamar Jackson. That makes noise. All right. What about... I don't know, man. Every day they're going to be asked about Micah. Brian Schottenheimer is the Cowboys coach. Can we retire one phrase in sports? If you you know what? We'll hit Micah because I'm gonna sidetrack this whole damn thing. I don't care. We'll hit Micah at the top of the hour when we come back from this break. If there's one phrase, one cliche in sports that you want to ban from people, coaches saying at press conference, what would it be?
This is the great time to drop it because we can sit on this for a couple minutes and come out hard at the top of the hour.
Are you going to play me the music now and play me out? I mean, anything from, you know what I'm saying, to at the end of the day, to, I mean, if you got one, what is it? What is it? It's like, just stop. And then we'll give you the latest on Mike and what Brian Schottenheimer has to say. Jerry Palm's going to join us coming up at 8:30. He of Palm Brackets. Check out the new website from Jerry Palm. You're going to like that a lot. We'll talk college football with him as we go into week 0. Yes, boys and girls, you get college football that matters. Saturdays matter again, starting this week. It's the opening drive. Find us at 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Oh, right. I got Dodger response. You're right, dude. It's Conforto's problem, or it's his issue, or it's his fault. It's the opening drive. Good morning to you, boys and girls. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. You have found us on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the sports animal, where Lobos will play Santa Clara. I got response on that from you guys in the basketball stuff. We got Dodger response. I got all kinds of stuff coming in on the text line. JJ, it's move-in day, sophomore year for the child at the University of Michigan. So,
dude, that's insane.
What is? That it's move-in day?
Sophomore
or that it's sophomore
year?
Isn't it crazy? Were you around when my child was born? I believe
I've been around for a long time.
You've been around for the whole damn thing. yeah, we're moving in today. We got stuff here, and then we'll go load up out of some garage somewhere Michigan, and go to some Targets and Costco's, and then me and all the rest of the dads will lug a bunch of stuff up the stairs, and we got to get stuff to tack stuff up on the walls. What's that stuff called? The command strips. Yeah. It's on the list, dude. All right, so command strips are on the list. I got to get some toothpaste because she forgot toothpaste, so we're going through mine pretty quick. So I got a little while we're at Target, get some travel toothpaste. But yeah, big day in what do they call this town? The Wolverine State. All right. If there was a phrase, and then we'll get into the Micah thing. If there was one that you would love eliminated, no longer in press conferences in sports, what's the one that just you're like, enough, man? They say it enough, and it's not football is football.
Oh man, that one's great.
Yeah.
I've got that a couple times.
I know you have.
I'm cutting them up. I'm going to save them. I'm going to add them to the.
Will you just keep playing and playing.
Football.
Yeah, that could be a fantasy football team name, by the way.
Football's football.
Yeah. Is there one phrase that you're like, I'm good, man, stop? And this evolves now because there's catchphrases, there's just terminology, there's narratives. Which narrative? The word narrative could go away. I'd be fine with that word going away, but that's not mine.
Yeah, there's doing this for a long time. And you know this, Jeff. You hear things, but you can read between the lines. You try to hear things differently because there's absolutely a ton of phrases, and sometimes that's just the way you need to handle things as a coach. But goodness, I'm just trying to think of because I try to.
I'll give you mine.
Yeah, I want to hear yours, but especially I'm just thinking about from my standpoint, trying to elicit an answer. Yeah. It's a lot of that is the phrasing of your question. Because if you leave it just so open, then you get a lot of the generic stuff. Say, we'll talk about the game. Okay, what do you want to know about the game? Like,
no, that's a bad question by a reporter. No, that's on the reporter. For me, there's two of them. One of them is a crutch word, and the other one is just. Well, I guess they both are. I'm over at the end of the day because the people who use at the end of the day use it about 3 or 4 times. And the other one is right. Like when someone's telling you something and they say, okay, so give me a subject. Give me a subject.
Toothpaste.
All right, so I get toothpaste, right? And it's you want it to whiten your teeth, and you want it to freshen your breath, and I've got a tooth sensitivity, right? So I go and I get the toothpaste, and I have to give up one thing, right? And so I give up the teeth whitening because the sensitivity, right? And that, see what I'm saying? That one. Are you trying to convince me or you when you say it all the time?
So
that's one that gets me.
That's actually fascinating because that's just
it's a
human
speech pattern.
crutch word.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
no, it's a crutch.
Unless someone talks to you about it.
Yeah.
Because phrases slip in, and I know we're probably wired the same way. At times you're listening to something, you're just like, oh, like I said that. Like gets in there a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you don't, because this is just like in the weeds for us for sure. Like if you don't write something down, or if you don't think about taking those out of your vocabulary, listen to the way people talk every day.
No, you're right, and that's why
are not. I'm sure people actually don't go to coaches and tell them what their crutch words are,
and some should, right? And I just did it. We have a coach on our show that says a lot, and it's not my place to say, hey, coaches don't listen to themselves. They don't do that, but the crutch words are something that you hear every day. I listen to radio hosts, and there are some who use like the show before us, Perloff. I just said it, but he says like more than my teenage daughter does in a sentence. You know what I'm saying? Like it's there all the time. So I don't know. Yeah, you know. Anyway, all right, the Micah Parsons thing. I don't know that it's any closer or not to resolution. I have no idea. I told you some of my thoughts yesterday on this. I firmly believe if the Adam Schefter reporting is real, and I have zero reason to believe Adam Schefter is not right because he's almost always right. I'm looking at a screen right now. It says, "Is Micah Parsons sitting out Week 1 a real possibility?" If in fact Jerry Jones and him had a handshake deal, that they came to an agreement, and then the agent came in and blew the whole thing up, then I'm starting to side a little bit with Jerry. If I have a handshake deal with somebody, if I look you in the eye, we shake hands, we got a deal, I expect your word to be your word. And the agent works for the player, not the other way around. And if in fact the agent came in and said, no, you got to get more. I went over this whole thing yesterday. Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach. And whilst he did not create this mess, he must live in the quagmire which has resulted. And so he was asked, do you think your stud defensive player, the best defensive player on your team and one of the best in the league, is going to be available when you open the season September 4, which is now coming up on 2 weeks from today, right? That's the NFL season, 2 weeks from today when they play at Philadelphia. Quote, Coach Schottenheimer, I think at the end of the day, we feel like Micah's going to be out there when we line up against Philadelphia here in 15 days or whatever it is. So he was asked, all right, with or without an extension. Quote, I feel good that Micah's going to be out there against the Philadelphia Eagles, end quote. I don't know if he's trying to convince me or you, man. He hasn't practiced his Micah in training camp either in Oxnard or the past 2 days back in Frisco. He's gone through some walkthroughs. He's gone through some team meetings. He mentioned at the beginning of the camp that he was dealing with back tightness and he received some treatment while they were in California. His agent, David Mulgeta, says he hasn't had discussions on any new deal. I mean, what makes you think this is getting done? Jerry Jones said he believed he and Parsons came to an agreement on the framework of a deal back in March. But there have been no talks. Now, Parsons is set to make some money this year, $21.3 million, in fact, but he wants double that, or just about. Dude, if this deal was agreed to in March, do you know how much money Jerry could have saved? But if
he did agree to it. Apparently.
Well, apparently, but if they did, and that's what I'm saying, man. If this was agreed to in March, and I'm going to guess if this plays out the way this story tells you, right? If the agent came in and basically said no, I'm going to guess he figured, you know what, we got so much time from March until camp opens. We're gonna play this out, and they're going to have to sign us, and the market's going to rise. And Jerry, and he misplayed his cards. I'm going to tell you, I think there's a better chance now that Micah Parsons plays somewhere else in his next game than with Dallas. If, and there's one caveat to this. The caveat is my other theory. My other theory is it's done, and Jerry's going to announce it the day before the season like he did with Dak. Just to get the headlines. This deal is done. They're keeping it under wraps. But, and the player doesn't want to go through camp. And so he's working out on the side. I just don't want to deal with that. And so the deal is done, and they're going to announce it and try to steal a bunch of headlines. I think it's one of the two.
I don't think that's possible. I don't think Micah Parsons would be in on that because you're putting yourself at risk by not getting ready to play football and then stepping on the football field just because at that point Jerry Jones wants to have the headlines. I don't think Micah Parsons would go that deep down the rabbit hole.
I tend to believe that's right, which makes me then go the other way and lean towards the next time Micah Parsons plays, is it going to be in another uniform?
Who can push this? Because Jerry Jones, and you've laid it out, and I agree with you. I would be frustrated, too, if there was a legitimate conversation, handshake deal. You thought you had the grounds for a contract, and then you say, all right, let's pass this on to your agent and let everyone get the contracts, and you can come sign it. But who can then nudge Jerry and Micah Parsons in this and be like, do you want to be on this team? Do you want him to be on this team? I get you're frustrated, but it's time to take a step forward.
So the answer is relatively simple to me. I mean, if I know the word is if, but if they did come to an agreement, Micah goes back to his agent and says, dude, go back and take that original deal. And the agent says it's antiquated. It's expired. It's out of date. It's not good enough. It was, I don't know, I'll throw a number at you. It was $36 million a year. And now the market's worth $41. You're not leaving $5 million a year on the table. And the answer would then be, yeah, I am. I want to play football. That's a lot of money. Let's go. Get the deal done. I mean, if everything is played out the way it's being laid out in these stories now, who can make it move? Micah. If Jerry's not budging, if Jerry is, damn it, we had a deal. I shook the man's hand, and he looked me in the eye and said, we have a deal. Right? And Jerry's 82 years old school, not changing his ways. You can tell me he needs to budge, and the market moved, and it's all on him. Fine. I don't give a damn. He's still the boss. He still writes the checks. If he believes he had a deal and he's not budging, then the answer to your question, Micah's got to budge. Now, I don't think he will. But I don't know. You got another answer?
Would, in this case, if you're Micah Parsons, even if you got that same deal, do you think Jerry would just up the guarantees on it?
I don't know. I have no idea what the terms were. I mean, so whilst it's been reported that there was a deal agreed to, I haven't seen any terms. And I'll bet if he goes back and says, Jerry, I know we had a deal. The market's moved. I don't need to go all the way to the top, but give me an extra X. I'll bet Jerry at this point would probably say, all right, Michael, let's go. Let's get you into camp and go try to beat the Eagles.
Yeah, you could make Jerry feel good and be like, oh, look, I'm making $38 million a year, but maybe $10 million more of the contract overall becomes guaranteed money.
Just everybody wins, and let's get this damn thing done. But to me, if, again, the answer to your question, who makes it move, I don't know that I think Jerry's going to budge if he thinks he's been disrespected. Sounds like it's on Micah. Jerry Palm's going to be with us coming up at 8:30. We're going to talk college football. Week 0 is this week. Got some interesting matchups. We're going to get you started in college football. Take your fantasy football stuff coming up at 9 o'clock as well. Hey, I got a jeweler. I never knew I needed a jeweler, but I've got one, and it's John Thomas Jewelers. Why? Because they're fabulous, because they're amazing, because they're different, because they're the best jewelry store in town. Best jewelry store I've ever seen. You're getting engaged? There's only one place to go, and it's John Thomas Jewelers. You want the ring that she's going to love forever, but how do you know she's going to love the ring before you give it to her? That's why John Thomas Jewelers has come up with the No Regrets engagement ring. What is that? Well, you go and get a ring, and they've got over 3,000 bridal sets for you to look at right now at John Thomas Jewelers. But if you don't like any of that, they will create something for you. You design it with them. You'll see in 3D that ring that you design. You can preview in 3D printed wax a version of that ring before it's made in precious metals. And if she wants something different, so then you give her the ring. She says, yes, she loves you, but she doesn't love the ring. What do you do then? You've got an entire year to redesign that ring at John Thomas Jewelers. After you propose, there's no penalty even on custom-made rings. Plus, the rings come with a free lifetime nationwide warranty, and their diamonds are hand-selected by John Thomas Jewelers in Antwerp, Belgium, which is the diamond capital of the world. The translation is, you cannot find a better, beautiful, a finer diamond anywhere than you can at John Thomas Jewelers. It's called the No Regrets Engagement Ring, and it is exclusively at John Thomas Jewelers. Go see them. They're on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of it all. See why they've been voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque 5 straight years, voted one of the coolest jewelry stores in America, and why they are my personal jeweler. Not that I wear a ton of jewelry, but when I need it, that's where I go. It's John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
I'm a Blaze.
First Sportsbook.
Got a big party coming up on Saturday. Looking forward to seeing all y'all out there. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Hello. All right, we're back with you. Music bed played out, and I just wanted you to hear the music. I think it was it. Just a bunch of music for you. Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Big party coming up this weekend. Looking forward to seeing you all out at Ex Novo Brewery on 7th and Central. We're going to have all kinds of prizes, all in autograph mystery boxes and signed autographs to give away. Tickets to the Lobo Aggie football game. Tickets to the Lobos against, they're not playing, well, the other Aggies. They're not playing Utah State, though. They're just playing Bronco Mendenhall. But we'll have concert tickets noon to 4. 7th and Central, Ex Novo. We'll see you there. Dwight sent this on the email machine, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Jeff, Bob Clark was just, or it says the new voice of Ramit. Babalu was just hyping on the big stick. Listen to Rio Rancho football tonight with JJ Buck on the call. Rio Rancho can find local airways, but Jason Jerome guys can't. Yeah, I don't know that New Mexico State does have a local affiliate, but you got high school football tonight. Big debut for you. No, is that not right? According to
Friday night football.
All right, we'll see. There you go, Doit. It's tomorrow night. You could listen to JJ Buck. That's kind of cool though. You working with Zay on that, or who are you working with on that?
The first one, it will be myself and Isaiah. Helping those guys out. We're gonna have Zay and Carlos doing a lot of the high school football stuff. So I kind of helped him out, gave him some notes, built a format for those guys, and excited to have those schools, Rio Rancho and Cleveland, on the schedule. The first two games will be over on The Pit, 94.5 FM. Friday nights at 7 o'clock be two Rams football contests to get started, and we'll mix in Cleveland because, the Storm have been running the state recently.
Yeah, they have. All right, so the Rio Rancho School is going to be right here on our stations, and I hope you get to enjoy those. Lobo Hobo said, finally some good Lobo football news, Jeff. For years, the running opening drive joke was the 2016 Lobo football schedule posted in the sub long after the season was a distant memory. Well, you'll be glad to know it's been replaced with a fresh 2025 slate that can no longer be used as an excuse to not go to games. And even showed me a picture of the new poster up in the sub. Well, you should sell out now, right? It feels that way. Dan's in on Caitlin Clark. When was the last time she played?
It's been a long time.
It says, Jeffrey and Juan Jose, I'm Dr. Stigambula. I'm not Dr. Stigambula, nor am I going to play one on this award-winning OD, but a bone bruise sure doesn't sound like something you'll recover from in a month or two. Is she coming back?
Playoffs?
Playoffs. I mean, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I did see Paige Beckers go for, 44 last night?
Dude, Beckers is so good. Like I get it. The Caitlin Clark crossover, get everyone going, superstar. But then you get Paige Beckers, sets a rookie record, 44 points. You got Sabrina Ionescu in there. You get Caitlin Clark back. You know, the Aces struggled this season, but they're a really good team. WNBA playoffs should be good. I know no one's going to be watching because of when it's happening, but the league's in a good spot for those young star players.
So are people watching now? Is this still a Caitlin Clark league? Because the numbers I see are down, and this kind of, and I'm glad it does to some respect, puts a big dagger in this whole race divide. That the only reason people watch Caitlin Clark is because she's a good white player in a league making up of black players. And I've said, man, you've had Brianna Stewart, you've had Sabrina Ionescu, you've had Diana Taurasi, you've had a lot of good white players before. And now you got another one, Paige Beckers. But they don't move the needle like Caitlin Clark does because, and I've tried to contend, and I've really wanted to believe, and I believe it even more firmly, that Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark because she's different and she's special and she's really good. Not because of the color of her skin. And I think that league needs her back. All right, Jerry Palm next. I know we're a little late on this. We're going to catch up with Jerry Palm. He's got a new website. It's called Palm Brackets. I think you're going to love it. Going to catch up with him as we get into Week 0 football games. Our weeklies with Jerry Palm next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by Qual.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together.
Animal.
Well, we've had a good relation with our good friend Jerry Palm, and it started years and years ago.
And welcome back. It is the opening drive. Things just froze up. Clean feed dropped. So Jeff has to reconnect. We'll get that going right quick. Jeff Symbieta, moving day in Michigan. He's over there in Ann Arbor. JJ Buck with you here in the studio. So we'll get Symbieta connected real quick. Let me send that message to him. And we'll welcome in the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jerry Palm, joining us on the opening drive. Jerry, good morning, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Hey, doing good. You know how it is. You got to be able to audible. You got to be good to go at the line of scrimmage, doing a dual city show. But great to have you back as always, man. Always look forward to these conversations on Thursday. But before we jump into it, let the people know where they can find you now.
Yeah, my time at CBS came to an end in the spring, so I have gone back to my roots. I was a self-publisher before I worked there, and now I'm back to being a self-publisher. And my new site is palmbrackets.com. The football side is up. I'm still working on basketball, but football season started first. So, but I've got bowl projections up, and everybody's schedules, and then once we get some games played, we'll really get into the meat of things.
No, Jerry, when you first got into doing this, what drew you to it and starting your site and really just had you invested in college athletics?
I've always been a fan, but it actually goes back quite a ways. I had a new computer with some new software, and my degree is computer science. So I wanted to teach myself some of the new software in particular. And at that time, the RPI, it's like February, the RPI is the metric of choice for basketball. And I had just seen an article about the formula. There had been a change in the formula. And I thought, I should be able to calculate that. I can try out all my new stuff and calculate the RPI. So I did, and shared it on news groups back then, and thinking nobody would care. And as it turns out, people cared. And so, before too long, I had a one-page web presence on AOL, which shows you how old this is. And then, eventually a website, and the traffic picked up, and word of mouth I got out there. And actually, one of the funny things about it is the big impetus was a reporter who covers Penn State found me in the 1 year in every couple of decades that Penn State was good at basketball. And so and things took off after that because he spread the word. So it was just kind of crazy, and it grew into something that I would have never expected. I certainly didn't expect back then that I would still be doing something like this.
He's Jerry Palm. PalmBrackets.com is his new website. It's good to hear you, my friend. It was back then. Gosh, sorry about that. I had a little disconnect problem. But, we started, JJ and I were working in a closet over by, JJ, what was that food place called that we would go in and, like, the all-you-can-do-to-yourself place?
Like a soup and salad place?
Yeah, I think that's it. Jerry, we used to work in this, like, little closet doing an afternoon show. And that's what, I think you and I started this back in, like, 2003, right? We've been doing
it's been a long time.
Then.
Yeah.
Appreciate
it's funny. There are 3 radio shows that I've been on for about that length of time. And the most surprising thing about that isn't that we're all still doing this, but that we're all still doing it at the same place because of the nature of radio. It's been great. I look forward to these weekly chats, and the first one of these tells me that the season is about to start.
Yeah, which is good. We just celebrated our 17th anniversary on this show last month, and so we've been doing it here for a while. All right, so go check the website out. I think you'll really like it. It's palmbrackets.com. You can click around and have fun with it. 5 games, 0 equals 5. Iowa State, Kansas State's the big one. They're going overseas.
Yep.
You got 2 ranked teams, and look, every game's big. I want to get into the slate, and we will. But Jerry, before we hit the schedule, this concept of a 24 to 26 to 2018 playoff, I just don't see the need for it other than money. Is this the Big Ten saying?
How much money is involved in something like that?
I have no idea.
How do you get all those games played in the window that we have to play them?
Well, you eliminate the conference championship game, so it gets you a week back. You eliminate some of the weeks off.
Suppose.
I mean, I guess I don't. Is this the? I don't need to see the 7th place team out of leagues. At this point, I don't know that makes it better.
It's way over the top. It is. People throw out proposals all the time, for stuff, and some are just, on the face kind of nuts. This might be one of the most insane proposals I've heard in some time.
So is that just the Big Ten?
That's serious because this is the Big Ten commissioner.
Right.
It's not just like some random fans. It's the Big Ten commissioner. And I'm thinking, do you have to have a 2018 playoff to get as many teams as you want into a playoff? That's crazy. I don't get it at all. There's no way that's going to get any traction.
Well, you live in the Big 12 world or Big 10 world. Is that them then just saying, "Look, man, we want our format, and fine, you don't want to listen to that? Here, let me throw this at, and we're going to back this, just so you'll come over to my side."
Maybe, but anything that is going to happen, it's going to be the Big Ten and the SEC. Well, Greg Sankey's not going to go for that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's and these conference championship games are, they were at least, they are meaningful still. And you're just talking about doing away with all the conference championship games, which I guess is fine if you're the Big Ten. Maybe you don't need it, or the SEC, maybe you don't need it. But some of these smaller conferences like having those games, I think. And the SEC championship game has got a lot of tradition behind it, so they're not going to give that up easily, especially for something as convoluted as this.
Yep, Jerry Palm. Palm Brackets is his website. Is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Jerry, there was an updated metrics discussion for the CFP selection committee when it comes to the playoff. What were your takeaways from that?
Well, they're trying. Strength of schedule is a difficult thing to calculate in college football, especially as compared to basketball, because college football is about 135 teams playing 12 games, and basketball is 350 teams playing 35 games. So you just have so much more data, and the more data you have, the more reliable your metric is. And it's hard to do a good, reliable strength of schedule metric in college football just because of the lack of data, relative lack of data. So they've tweaked it, I guess, to put a little more emphasis on playing other good opponents. I wonder how they're deciding which opponents are good and which ones aren't good enough to be included in that. There's no real details. We don't even get their strength of schedule formula. So, and that's data. In fact, that data is never made available, not even in raw numbers. So it's, I guess, that makes some sense. I think people like, the emphasis. And when you look at a team's schedule, most people don't look beyond how you did against better teams. So, there's an emphasis on that is probably good, but it also probably helps the stronger conferences because you're going to get more of those games in your league. And the thought is it might encourage some of these teams to play better non-conference opponents. We'll see. But scheduling is such a nebulous thing in football because, in basketball, you can tailor a schedule for the upcoming season to the squad you have. In football, schedules are made so far in advance, and, 2/3 of it you don't control at all, or 3/4 of it even, that it's a little tougher to control the strength of your schedule. But this is supposedly going to encourage teams to play better non-conference games, at least teams that want, to be in the playoff or get a good seed in the playoffs.
All right, big one this weekend, and it's good that Saturdays matter again. Week 0 is interesting, and maybe this is where it's all going to start here soon. Iowa State, Kansas State. Who do you like? I look at it. Kansas State's the favorite. With transfers and everything like this, I feel like I don't really know what's going on until week 2 or 3.
Yeah, and so I picked these two teams to finish at the top of the Big 12 with Kansas State as champion. So I guess I like Kansas State, but I just think this is the most wide open of the major conferences at the top. There's any of like 5 or 6 teams could win this league and nobody'd be surprised. So I picked these two probably, usually as I'm picking games, I have to pick all the games in order to do bowl projection. When it comes to even matchups, I go with home teams, and which means that these two probably have the most favorable schedules of the better teams in this league. But it's, there's half a dozen teams that could win the Big 12, and this is a big game toward that end. But it's funny. It's last year we thought we'd have a game out there, Georgia Tech and Florida State that wasn't very important. And it turned out to be because Florida State just spiraled after losing that game. But this game we know is important. This is going to have it's a conference game between two of the better teams in the league right off the bat in a foreign country, overseas. So you've got a lot going on outside the game itself that could have an impact on it. But it's just a really important game for both of these teams.
Yeah, it's a fun watch. 10 o'clock Mountain Time on Saturday. We'll have that on the screens at our big 31st annual Sports Animal Birthday Bash at Ex Novo. That'll be there for you to watch as well. There's a couple others that interest me. Fresno State's getting 13 points at Kansas. Again, I don't know anything. Fresno State's got a new coach, a new quarterback. People like Kansas as well. I look at two games that you might have a surprise. I thought that was one. And then maybe it's not a surprise because Hawaii's a 2.5-point favorite at home against Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford is, boy, you talk about struggling. It's things have not gone well there recently. I don't think moving to the ACC helped them much because now, look, Stanford's a hard place to recruit to anyway because of the academics. And now you put them in positions where they're playing, games all over the country. All their conference games, or at least half their conference games, are on the other side of the country. It's just kind of a crazy scenario for them. They brought in Andrew Luck, who first thing he did in the spring was fire the coach. So now they have an interim coach, Frank Reich. Stanford is probably 3 years away, if things go well, from being competitive in the ACC. So them being an underdog at Hawaii is not really surprising to me because this is a team that may struggle to win any games at all this season. I mean, it's a complete rebuild over there at Stanford, and that's going to be an interesting program to follow, and especially with Andrew Luck taking charge of it. But if they don't win at Hawaii, who are they going to beat? San Jose State at home, maybe.
San Jose State's nice. I think that's one of the better teams in the Mountain West. I think they're better than Hawaii.
Yeah, well, I agree. But at least that game's at home. If they draw anybody at home, to make it an advantage. It's going to be a struggle for Stanford. At least in the short term. They're going to have some short-term pain, and hopefully Andrew Luck can wield his influence with recruits and things like that, perhaps, to get this program going back, to where we have seen it, because they've had some pretty good highs at Stanford. So we know they're capable of having programs that could compete at a higher level, but it's really kind of in a rough spot at the moment. It's definitely a program in transition.
All right. Lastly, and we're running a little late, but I want to ask you this: does this resonate at all? The new Pac-12 added Dallas Baptist in baseball yesterday.
That's a good baseball program.
I think it is. Does that mean anything on the national scale?
No, because that's not a full Division I program. So no, nationally, unless you cover college baseball, and I don't cover it, but I have a passing interest in it, which is why I know that's a good program.
Right.
So no, I don't think that moves the needle on the national media. I didn't know it until you told me. But they've got to be getting close to announcing what their full lineup is going to be. I don't know how much longer they can wait. We're going to be. We got to be. We're 12 months out from the start of their first football season. Things have got to get going here.
All right, the new website is Palm Brackets, PALM Brackets.com. Go check out Jerry's new site. We'll check out. Sorry we missed you for lunch. My daughter's, we flew into Michigan to move her in this year, so we didn't get to go through northern Indiana and stop by a brewery and have a sandwich and hang out with you. But we'll do that again, my friend. And I'm looking forward to having conversations with you every Thursday moving forward.
Great. Sounds good.
All right, be well. He is Jerry Palm. PalmBrackets.com is his new website. It's the opening drive. We're going to do fantasy stuff. You got fantasy questions, and you're already sending them in. 9 o'clock on Thursdays, we'll hit that. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Landscaping, they specialize in all those things. Got an idea what you want? They will do it for you. Don't know exactly what you want? They're going to come out. They'll send their experts to you, and they'll look at the space and give you a bunch of ideas and drop some sketches until you've got exactly what it is you and your family want, and you'll enjoy that backyard for years. Don't wait till spring. There's a lot of really, really good months. It's not like you live in Michigan or something. There's a lot of good months to enjoy your backyard. Do it now. Call LaBarge Landscape. I did. My deal, it got away from me. I needed a cleanup. I needed a sprinkler repair. I needed some help. It's a blind spot for me. I don't love yard work like some of you do. I'm not good at it either. LaBarge Landscape is great at it. 505-345-3000 is their number. 505-345-3000. Give them a call. Look at their website. You'll see their gallery. It's LaBarge, L-A-B-A-R-G-E, LaBargeLandscape.net. You will love them like I do. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. How good was it to hear Jerry Palm again, dude?
Oh, man, it's one of my favorite segments all year.
We go back, and you were, when I say you were a child, I believe you were a minor when we started with Jerry Palm, right? When we were working in that closet doing that afternoon show?
I was still in high school.
Yeah. We were on 1310 The Ticket, doing an afternoon show when you and I first started, and we got introduced to Jerry, and collegebcs.com at the time was his website. And he's been with us ever since and just supplied great content, and appreciate it. All right, you sent emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Bourne says you can keep Addison at home, Jeff. Right now, she can just skip the opening drive and go directly to the big stick on KKOB. From what I hear, Vogt is desperately looking for a new producer. I'm not sure. You know anything about that? I don't even know what that means.
Well,
I have no idea.
Don't know why he's being so desperate.
Yeah, I don't know what Clark's saying over on his show today, but that's the second reference to his show that we've gotten today. So somebody's going back and forth, and that's cool. Got this on the text line, 505-246-0610. We were talking earlier, JJ, and did you know that Dallas Baptist was added to the Pac-12 as a baseball school?
I saw that report yesterday.
What do you think of that, by the way? That is a good baseball program.
It's a very good baseball program.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know what the Pac is trying to do with their overall profile, but they're just like, at this point, add good programs, see what happens.
Well, they needed baseball, right? They needed another baseball program because Boise State doesn't play baseball. I don't believe Colorado State plays baseball. So they had Washington State and Oregon State, who are really good, and especially Oregon State, really good baseball programs. They had San Diego State. I think Gonzaga does, and Fresno State obviously does. So they needed something. And they're in they'll tell you, well, now we're in the Dallas area. Now we're in the Metroplex. Okay. I got one from Mudd as well on the Pac, scheduling Mountain West teams and the pit. All right, fantasy football when we get back, a little fantasy focus that we'll start doing on Thursdays for you. If you got questions about your draft, not that we're experts, it's just two more voices to bounce it off, not claiming to be experts. But we're just two idiots who have too many teams. How many drafts you got this weekend, by the way?
I think that should be the name of the segment.
What?
Two idiots, too many teams.
Yeah, two idiots with too many teams. It might be. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
The Sports Animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, it's going to be 2 idiots with too many teams to whom you can ask idiotic questions, I imagine, or any questions. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. Thanks for finding us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Got a bunch of stuff from you. I want to hit this one thing, and then we'll go to the phones, and then we'll get into the fantasy segment, and then we'll go. We talked earlier about basketball scheduling and the Santa Clara matchup, home and home for the Lobos, and we talked about the future Pac-12 schools and will they schedule New Mexico. And I said I would expect to see one, if not two, on the schedule next year. San Diego State, Colorado State make too much sense. Mud says the whack Pac-5 that left the Mountain West are afraid to come to the pit. The pit will have the respect no matter who wants to play here versus the Lobos or not. Lobo Hobo needs to let things flow. No Big Four conference teams want to come here. So what he's saying is they're afraid to come here. They think that they are a power league. Will they want to come to the pit? And it's going to be really interesting to watch this play out because they too are going to need to play non-conference games. And Colorado State, San Diego State. Now San Diego State's got no problem scheduling, JJ. They've got that national cachet. They played in the national championship game just 2 seasons ago. But it'll be interesting. And what Mud says, I don't think is totally wrong. So, all right, you want to go to phones, and then we'll do the two idiots thing. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Edward.
Well, thank you for fitting me in between the two idiots segment. I like Mud's calls, but Mud's consistent.
Yep.
He's cantankerous at points. But I think he brings good points, and it's well thought out. So, Mud, if you're listening, kudos to your thought process and your delivery. Hey, I have to regretfully inform the citizens of New Mexico, the 505 and 575, I'll be traversing to Austin, Texas next weekend, so I won't make the burning of the 80-foot Muppet in Santa Fe. So attendance may drop a little bit. I know last year it was record attendance on the 100-year anniversary. So I just wanted to say I'm going to miss that occultic event that they partake in up north.
But you're going to come. You're going to come by our birthday bash and bring half-eaten cake, aren't you?
Is that tomorrow?
It's Saturday. This coming Saturday.
Okay. So of course, wouldn't miss it for the world. Half-eaten cake. It's on my list of things to do. Hey, this is the Dallas Cowboy thing on Netflix. It's fascinating, and we talked the other day about Jerry. How he thinks things are fungible and transferable from one business to the other. But in his full transparency, and again, I'm a big fan of Jerry Jones. He admitted something earlier this week where, Colin Cowherd talked about it, and he said, at this point, I'm not willing to take bigger risks. Now, when he bought the Cowboys and he was a self-made millionaire, multimillionaire, big sweeping risks, right? Yep. And then he brought in Jimmy Johnson, and they took huge risks because they started from nothing. And then now that he's an accomplished businessman and he has 3 Super Bowl titles under his belt, as you get older, as an individual gets older, you take less risks. And it's a methodology I've actually shared with my son in his financial wherewithal, saying, hey, when you're young, take risks. Go out and take big swings. And myself, as I've become more chronologically advanced, Jeff, you and I'm predestined to take less big risks. So I found it very interesting in the interviews where I think it's kind of permeated his thought process as a GM, right? Where he's less predisposition to take big risks. And I think it's contributed to their lack of success on the field. A self-made man in general, or self-made person, let's be politically correct, a self-made person, as they get older, they become more of who they are and less inclined to lean on others and delegate and give up control, right? So It's just an interesting study that I've seen as it unfolded. But
I think it goes right along the lines of trend, or what's the word I'm looking for. I mean, there's nothing that should surprise you. He might be doing it at a different level, but it absolutely goes according to all research, right? People take less risks as they get older. Look at any financial portfolio. What do they tell you? As you get closer to retirement age, you take less risks, right? And I don't know if that's part of his financial portfolio, but of course it is. Of course it is. And so it totally makes sense. And as you get older, you get more set in your ways. And as you were saying, you rely on people less. You're less willing to yield any power or share. No, it goes right in every trend you hear about.
Agreed. Hey, last point on the Rams with your Vince Ferragamo jersey, Jeff. I think they're a Super Bowl favorite. Maybe not the favorite, but they're in the top 5. With the injury to their quarterback, it won't surprise me if they make a trade for the young, dynamic quarterback that JJ likes from the Colts. I'm just saying they got handsome Garoppolo, right? And then they have the guy from Georgia as their backup. But they're the kind of organization that takes big risks and big swings, and it wouldn't surprise me if they make a trade, offer for that young, dynamic talent.
Anthony Richardson.
Enjoy your day.
All right. See you. That would surprise me, JJ. Anthony Richardson to the Rams would surprise me, no?
Would be very surprising.
Yeah. All right, 2 idiots, too many teams. You got any fantasy football questions, you go into your draft. And I got a few. Travis has one. JJ, fantasy football question for the expert, JJ. You're the expert now. 2025, what's your favorite draft position? Obviously, number 1 overall in selecting Jamar Chase is cheat code and an easy answer. But outside of the 1 spot in a 10-team league, what's your favorite? Where do you want to draft? Do you like the middle? Do you like the ends? What do you like? Not that you get a choice.
I know. it's.
I mean, I'd love to have a choice.
Yeah, and the way each league does things, it's always fun and unique. How you pick your draft order, dude. I like the turn, where you can go back to back. I like that a lot.
You like the end?
The end, or even if you end up not necessarily number 1, but 2 or 3. I like the ability when you build your draft board to grab 2 guys you like back to back, and especially those first 5 to 6 rounds, you want to at least have a good foundation of your fantasy football squad, guys you like, because in the middle, you have to be able to think on your feet, like when you're drafting 4, 5, and 6, because so many players that you have targeted are going to go, and you got to be able. That's where you really have to show your ability to know who you want and players with high upside right there in the middle.
And I don't because then I'm second to last in a 14-team league. It just seems like a month before it comes back to you. It's like, okay, you got to get your 2 dudes, and if you don't fill, then you got a hole. You got 2. You got a wide receiver and a running back, and what am I going to get? I just feels like a month before it comes back. I don't love drafting on the ends.
It does, and the size of the league absolutely changes things. 10, 12, 14. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I got a 14-team league this weekend that it's 1 keeper, and I'm second to last. And like, wow. But look, I finished I finished towards the bottom, drafted out of any position, so it doesn't matter. All right, we're going to go over a bunch of stuff on this. If you got some questions, hit us when we come back. 505-246-0610. It's 2 idiots with too many teams talking some fantasy football on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Listen to
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we're the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International
theories on drafts. And I think over the last 10 years, it has swung. It used to be you had to have a couple of running backs. Now, especially in PPR leagues, wide receivers, getting a stud wide receiver is big. You and I differ a little bit on draft strategy. You will go super late and not get running backs, where I tend to always go running back heavy. And I always think that they're trade bait later in the season. If I've got 3 or 4 number ones, that somebody's going to need a running back later, and I'm going to be able to get a receiver for it. Doesn't always work that way. Your strategy, I believe, is you want you want receivers early, don't you? You want a couple of number ones.
I do, because traditionally, the majority of fantasy football formats, you can start 4 wide receivers. A lot of times, if you're playing in what is usually a traditional format, it's a quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, tight end, and a flex. So wide receivers are the position you can start most of. And so that's why I tend to lean wide receiver heavy early, especially in PPR leagues, points per reception. Now, I don't want to ignore running backs. I think I would like to at least have a strong RB1 in the first 3 rounds, a guy that I can trust. But I'm more willing, to take my chances a little bit later with an RB2, just based on if you're playing in a format where starting 3 wide receivers could end up actually starting 4 of those guys. I do like to have more upside across that position.
So what's your thought on running backs then? I mean, you figure, because there's just, I guess it fluctuates, right? But there's just seems to be so few studs. When you look at it, how many, whoever you think the studs are, whether it's Jahmyr Gibbs, he's in a timeshare, McCaffrey when he's healthy, whoever it is you like. Bijan Robinson, obviously Saquon. There's just so few of those, and it feels like if you get one, you're ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and that's why, again, I'm fine if trying to find one of those RB1s in the first couple rounds, and then
you
wait
got to get
a
him in
little
the first
bit.
round.
I think it depends.
Okay.
Like, it's, your format, what are you doing? Because in the second round, if my RB1 is Derrick Henry, Bucky Irving, Josh Jacobs, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. What if you have 2 RB2s? So what if you end up with Kenneth Walker and Alvin Kamara?
I think you're in a good place. Now, something like that, and everyone knows the handcuff is Charbonnet. You have to find a way to get him on your roster if you have Kenneth Walker with the foot injury and the fact that we did see Zach Charbonnet play at a high level, so he is a legit RB2 fill-in, and sometimes you don't necessarily know who's the guy that's going to get the work if the RB1 goes down, if it's going to be a committee. But, Charbonnet is a player that they showed last year that they will lean on him. And that's also a good draft strategy, too, of knowing that if you have one of those guys with a question mark going into this season, don't wait until the double-digit rounds thinking you can get the handcuff. Like, use a 7th or 8th round pick on that guy, because that can be really valuable for your team.
Talk me in or out of Kenneth Walker. I'm literally reading an article right now. I'm not reading it because I'm with you, but I'm looking at it. And it says RB2 breakouts, and 3 of these experts all say Kenneth Walker. And the date on this article is 3 days ago, the 18th. So when he's with the foot injury. They love the offensive coordinator. They love Seattle's offense. There's an argument about his draft class, right? That guys have been getting paid and guys have been breaking out. And it was James Cook and Kyron Williams, and they got paid. And I see so much love on Kenneth Walker, but yet that foot scares the hell out of me.
Well, I think, again, if as we talk fantasy football throughout the season, a lot of these questions, it's going to come down to, your scoring settings, what your league is, auction, keeper value. But I think in redraft league, if you're looking at Kenneth Walker, if you can get him in the 3rd round, I like that, because then you can attack, Kenneth Walker, Kyron Williams, get guys with some upside in those rounds where you might be able to get an elite wide receiver or 2 in the first 2 rounds, come back with Kenneth Walker, back him up with even Amari and Hampton at that point in time, the rookie from the Chargers, in those mid rounds with good upside value. And the only players that I wouldn't draft or would be maybe like the Dolphins in the first 2 rounds, like Devon Achane with the calf. I don't know if I can spend a top 10 pick on him. Yeah. Tyreek Hill, I'd like him more in the 2nd round. But even Christian McCaffrey, his value this year, if he slides past the 5th pick, like, okay, that's where you take a chance on Christian McCaffrey. Like, not like last year where you're investing the number 1 overall pick in him. But with, someone like Kenneth Walker, man, the upside is matches where you're most likely going to be able to get him in fantasy drafts.
All right. Best outside of Ashton Jeanty. biggest impact rookie this year will be? I got two that I really like, but
Well, let's hear them. I want to hear your rookies.
Chargers running back, Hampton, right? And Tedoria McMillan. I love both of those guys.
I'm right there with you, man. Ted McMillan, wide receiver 1 for the Panthers. And we saw at the end of last season, Bryce Young, when it came to fantasy football, he was good. He showed some rushing ability on the scrambles, but he fed targets, man. Adam Thielen was consistent. I think Ted McMillan is going to be really good because he's a large receiver with vertical speed, and you're looking in that 5th, 6th round. That is a great place to get someone like Ted McMillan. 4-5, Hampton as an RB2 with that upside in the offense. You know they want to run the football. Najee Harris with the fireworks incident is well behind when it comes to training camp and getting on the field, locked in on those guys. And you saw it last year. Like in fantasy football, absolutely look at the first round wide receivers because Malik Neighbors, extraordinary. Brian Thomas Jr. was one looked at him last year, but you got to remember he was a first round pick in real life, and now all of a sudden is a first round pick in fantasy football. So definitely take a look back at what teams invested in players, especially the first 2 rounds, but especially that first round because those guys are going to be involved.
Order of preference: Marvin Harrison Jr., Cortland Sutton, Tedoria McMillan, DK Metcalf. Rank them 1, 2, 3, 4 how you want them. I know how I want them, but I'm curious where you are.
So I'm going. I think the way you said them to me is the way I'd rank them.
Harrison, Sutton, McMillan, Metcalf.
Yeah,
I love Sutton this year, by the way.
Yeah, he had career high 82 catches last year. Undisputed number 1 in that offense, and he should be fine even with the overall development because it's still kind of a rotation in wide receiver too. They're staying in Denver. They like Troy Franklin. Again, coming on. They drafted Pat Bryant in the 3rd round. They just traded Devon Bell to the Saints, so it's going to be a rotation, but the one thing that's locked in is Cortland Sutton. And I'm right there with you. And I think Sutton and Marvin Harrison are actually close. And if I'm sitting there, I think Harrison's still got the value, the name brand. People are like, oh, he's going to pop. He's going to be this big dude.
He goes off.
Yeah. And I think if I was selecting them based on value, I'd probably like where I'd get Cortland Sutton over Marvin Harrison Jr.
If I can get them both the same spot, I go Harrison first. But the other one, I like Marvin Mims, by the way. And they just sent Vele to San Francisco yesterday. I like Mims as a number 2 target in the Broncos offense as well. All right, we'll do this on Thursdays as you get into who should I play, what should I do on waiver wires. We'll just do a little fantasy segment, see where it goes. It'll be kind of a 2 idiots with too many teams. You like that?
I do like that. 2 idiots, too many teams.
Yeah. We'll do that. All right, back into it. I got a bunch of emails from you, 505-246-0610. Come on in, talk, whatever it is. We've been a lot of places today. Jeff, JJ, Jeff at 90. What is it? Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com. JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. So you can come in on any of that. Hey, it's about that time. We're going to hit September next week where you're going to start figuring out who's planning your holiday party. I know it's weird to think about it at 90-something degrees. I got your spot, and it's the historic Albuquerque Convention Center right in downtown. Go by and look at the website, albuquerquecc.com. If you've never been there, and look at their spaces. If you've been there, you understand how great it is. If you've been to an event there, you know how fantastic their service is. The food is spectacular. The venue is terrific. It's incredibly accessible. You got parking there adjacent to the facility, and no matter how big your group is, whether it's 20 people or 2,000 people, whether it's a small meeting or private gathering, or it's a large conference or an exposition or expo as they call it, or a big celebration, whatever it is, let the team at Albuquerque Convention Center go above and beyond and cater to your expectations. They've got the facility, they've got the staff, they've got the vision, they've got the passion to make your event fantastic. We host an event there every year at Isleta New Mexico Bowl. We take our teams there. Why? Because they take care of our teams the way we need them taken care of. The hospitality is what we need, and they come through every single year. Just did the New Mexico Sports Hall of Fame banquet there. I emceed that. It was spectacular. It was a larger event. So whatever it is you're looking for event-wise, go by, look at their website. It's albuquerquecc.com, and then give them a call and talk to them about booking your event. 505-768-4575. 505-768-4575. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all.
The 31st Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried...
Stand the sports animal.
All right, we got a little fantasy stuff in. Now we got a little reality stuff. It's the opening draw. On 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Don't forget our big birthday bash. It's coming up on Saturday. 31 years of the Sports Animal in Albuquerque and in New Mexico. And looking forward to celebrating with you. It's at Ex Novo Brewery. We'll be there from noon to 4. It's on 7th and Central right downtown. It's a wonderful spot. If you've been there, you understand it. If not, I know you're going to love it. Come by and see us. You'll meet all your favorites. J.J. Buck will be there. That should be enticing enough to get you there. Prizes to give away, all and autographs. Has jerseys and mystery boxes and all kinds of stuff. We got tickets to the Lobo Aggie football game to give away. We've got tickets to Lobo's Utah State football game to give away. So tons to do, and look forward to seeing you at Ex Novo Brewery on Saturday from noon to 4. Emails coming in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Richard says, JJ's organization, if the Doyers don't win your district, your lack of these dual efforts at Coors is the culprit. Yeah. Yes. Dodger fans little bit on edge right now. Ronnie says Jeff and JJ, Dave Roberts needs to bench Conforto. How does Call have 4 hits the day before and get benched before him? It's from Ronnie. You said it earlier, man. It's everything on Roberts and Conforto right now. Yeah, if they lose this thing by a game, they're going to look back at this and go, what the hell happened? We swept San Diego. I got a weird feeling about what happens this weekend, too. Padres get healthy with the Giants. They got a little red butt from getting spanked in L.A. last week and getting swept. And, things could turn this weekend in San Diego.
Same thing we said last Friday.
I know. We'll watch it. All right, phones. Is it Friday? Oh, it kind of feels like Friday. Terry. Good morning, Terry. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Terry?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. Yeah, when you're old like me, I don't know what day of the week it is. I just was chime in. I'm bringing out my inner Goldilocks. I was glad the PGA got away with the start 10 under, 20 under.
Yes.
But now I'm kind of like, oh, here it is. Scotty's just dominated. I'm kind of a little annoyed with Rory. I like Rory, but him sitting out the first round, the playoff and whatnot, he still can win if he wins this week. And the one that gets me was Mick Fleetwood Mac. Tommy Fleetwood hasn't won a tournament all year, but if he wins this weekend, he wins it all. And I just like, okay, and I know they haven't called me and asked for my opinion, but, I thought it'd be down to Scotty and Spawn. And I guess Rory, I thought if Rory would at least played the first round of the playoff. So I'm not sure on that what you guys think, and it's not the end of the world, but I know they want to make the last tournament so important, but I'm thinking, God, Scotty deserves it no matter what. He's just torn it up.
Let me ask you this, Terry. Terry, I'm going to make a comparison because I tend to agree with you, and I think I would like to see the overall season champion be named on points and overall. And if you want to give the $10 million to the winner of this tournament, that's fine. But I'm going to compare it to other sports. There was a year where the New England Patriots were undefeated, went through the whole year. They were the best team, but they didn't win the very last game, and the New York Giants did, and the Giants were champions. Is this dissimilar to that? I mean, so Scotty wins all year, but they're – and I know it's not the same because it's 1-on-1 versus 1 in this case versus 29 others. But is this somewhat similar to what they do in every other sport? You've got your Super Bowl. You've got your final. This is for the championship.
Well, and your comparison is valid, except like Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood hasn't won anything. And, the Giants, to beat the Patriots, had to win.
Had to win things.
Had to go to Dallas and win.
Yeah.
Had to go to Green Bay and win.
Yeah.
Fleetwood's been second, third. I mean, Tommy Fleetwood belongs on Live Golf. He plays the first 3 rounds usually very well. It comes up short in round 4. But that's all. It is something, and they create something in the end. I would go with that. You win this tournament, you get $10 million, and then the points would be showing up there and saying, here's what it is. Because
and here's another $10 million. Yeah, and then $10 million for the overall champion because there's a $40 million person. Then you split the other 20 amongst the other 30 dudes, and everybody wins. I think your answer was right there. $10 million for the winner of this tournament, $10 million for the overall winner. If it's the same dude, then he gets 20, and then you split the rest out.
Yeah. Well, and then you bring in that last little bit. I have to be a little ornery. Bring it up when Bob Clark did the afternoon show, and you bring Patriots. The first time Patriots played the Rams, and Clark had been like 0-3 or 0-4 in Super Bowls, and he's like, I'm going to get this one right. I got the Rams. I know I'm going to win. Yeah, I'm breaking my streak. It didn't quite work out. But, yeah, through the years of the different afternoon folks and doing the things where they switched off. But, yeah. It was stuff that through the years I've enjoyed, and we all have our own predictions and what we do and go on like that. But, I guess you're back-to-back weeks in Michigan, Jeff?
Back to back, man. And travel's so glamorous. I think I only spent 4.5 hours in the Nashville airport yesterday because of the delay. It's so glamorous. Yeah, but we'll move in today. I told Daddy.
Game?
Yep, we're catching them Friday night. We're going to see the Tigers and Royals. We won't see the sun again. I told Daddy, you won't see the sun again until you come home. It's cloudy, and I think it's in the 60s. I haven't felt the 60s, and I can't tell you how long. So,
yeah, has she given you the agenda for the pregame? Your tailgating? Has that been set up yet, or will that be
we worked on it.
next week?
I don't know. No, I found her buddy to tell me to pull up on the tailgate. Who sent me an audio message? Jeffrey, pull up on our tailgate. I'm like, all right, dude. Let me get. I need your guys' number. So she played that recording back to me. He's like, no way, that's real. He didn't remember it. So Jeffrey's pulling up on the tailgate.
Now, did you send her with some green chili? I know I'm getting off topic.
Of course, dude. Of course.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, when my varmints went back to Lawrence, they'd always have to have green chili put in there. Yes. Some of their friends loved it. A couple of them didn't. But, yeah, if she has a guy friend that's poo-pooing green chili before he's even tried it, I think you toss him to the curb.
Yeah, he's out.
So,
all right,
you guys
man.
Have a wonderful day. Take care. Be safe.
Later. Yeah, JJ, I told her I think the only sun you may see is that Zia around your neck. They say it may rain. I don't know how they got a 12-day forecast or 9-day. I guess 9-day for the Big Lobo game a week from Saturday. At the Big House, JJ. 505-246-0610. Come on in. Emails jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. We got a few more. Oh, wait, I went somewhere else on this, though. The emails are coming in that way, and I want to read them to you. Eastlake. Carl says, Jeff, I love this new format, Jeff, where everyone breaks from the starting gate. No more this guy's a 10-length lead. I agree with that. Is your overall champion based on one tournament, whoever got hot, or should it be points? That's something for you to talk with Nick tomorrow about, too.
Yeah, I'm on board with what you guys were just discussing. I think it's two separate things. Have an overall season champion that earns money, and then make these guys play these tournaments. If you want to win, make the cut and see if you can do something crazy, and that is be the best at the end. And not just look and say, well, Scotty's been good all year. He needs to be the one that takes this home. Then why have these 3 tournaments at the end?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
If, in fact, there's a $40 million purse and there's 30 dudes, I'm fine with, and if it's the same guy, then I'm fine with this too. The winner of this tournament wins the PGA Championship. He wins $10 million. The points leader, which would be Scheffler, is your FedEx Cup champion, right? He wins the FedEx Cup. It's a different dude. So here's two, and he wins $10 million. If it's the same dude, he wins 20. And then you got $20 million to disperse amongst the rest of the field, and everybody wins.
I agree with that. I'd like to see these tournaments actually tougher in terms of not going in and Rory can not play because of where he's ranked. Like, if you want to advance, play, make the cut, and move on.
Mike says, as the opening drive talked about what Daly said a couple of weeks ago, Jeff, maybe we can ask Matt Malloy tomorrow about it. He said Tiger should not join the senior tour next year. He's still good enough to compete on the main tour. I didn't see that. I have no idea if he's good enough to compete on the main tour because I haven't seen him play in 2+ years. I'm going to guess he's not because you know why I guess that, JJ? If he was, he'd be out there. Tiger Woods on the senior tour would make it relevant. In fact, on your basic Sunday, I'll ask you this. If Tiger Woods is playing in what they call the Champions Tour, wherever it is, in Tri-Cities, Washington, and the John Deere is on, or the, pick your tournament, and Live is on, what are you watching?
Whatever Tiger's playing in?
Don't you think that's the answer? Tiger would be to the senior tour what Caitlin Clark was to the NBA, what Tiger Woods was to the PGA. Now, it's his call. He says he doesn't want to do that. He says you say he's never going to do that. He's Tiger Woods. He's always going to play at that level. But Tiger Woods is broke. That leg is, obviously, look, how do I know Tiger can't play at the level of these guys? Because he's not. He's not playing. If Tiger could, don't you know that Tiger would? Now, I get it. Evidently he's got a new girlfriend, very high profile. Charlie, his son, is playing competitively. He's out being golf dad, which I love. Samantha, his daughter, is doing her thing, like he's being dad. I love all those things. But I firmly believe that if Tiger Woods could play at that level, he would be. He didn't play in the Masters. He didn't play in the Open. So, Mike, I don't know if Tiger playing on the senior tour, that'd be great for the senior tour. Would it scratch his itch? I don't know. How competitive would he be there? We have no idea. You know why? Because we haven't seen it. And last we saw of Tiger, that's not what he or anybody else wants to see. Do you want to see more of that? So, I don't know. Matt Malloy used to be our guy. That's what he was saying. Nick Nee's going to be with us tomorrow. We can run some of that by him. All right, we'll wrap it up when we get back. Everything you've got to know as you go through your Thursday here on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal. I've been telling you about Twin Peaks for fantasy football drafts. We did ours there last year. Had a great time with it. If you're looking for a spot, there's no place like Twin Peaks to go book your fantasy football draft. Right now, give them a call, book. You score big. They give you a draft kit and $50 kickback card for the commissioner and $5 kickback card for everybody in your league. You can sip on local specials, and you got a chance to win $1,000 in cash from Molson Coors, and all the games are up on the TVs and everywhere. So go out there if you're looking for a spot. I know you'll enjoy that, and you'll have a great time out at Twin Peaks. Meanwhile, they got so many things going on out there all month long. If you're looking for a spot for lunch, put Twin Peaks on your lunch rundown. They have great lunch combos starting at $7.99. Savory soups, crisp salads, sandwiches that hit the spot. They'll slow you down. Happy hour. No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whether you're into tequila cocktails, top shelf spirits, handcrafted whiskey drinks, Twin Peaks has it all, served over a crystal clear ice ball. Pair it with a 29-degree draft, and it's the perfect way to unwind. Twin Peaks has you covered, whether it's lunch or happy hour. They've got the flavor and the views to match at Twin Peaks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. Hey, yeah, dude, is it Thursday?
Almost.
I was on the plane yesterday, and the guy's like, thanks for flying with us on this Tuesday night. And everybody's like, wait, what day is it? Everybody's like, isn't it still Wednesday? Yeah. I have never, by the way, dude. So the flight from Nashville to Detroit yesterday, it was totally full. It was delayed 2 hours. Everybody was cranky. It was late. And I have never seen a more difficult loading process on that plane where you got to see people that have to wedge into middle seats and there's no overhead bins. It took forever to load a plane. And dude, Andre the Giant sat next to us, like in the middle seat. You know how the biggest dude always sits next to you? And I'm like watching the last people come on the plane. I'm like, everybody's gigantic. Everybody. And then there was one like average sized person. So I'm trying to make eye contact, right? Because
I got you. Got you.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I got a seat. There was a young lady, Addie and I were talking to. She goes to Western Kentucky and, dancer, like, hey, sit here, but she had a bag and there was nowhere to put her bag. Like, here, put the small no, dude, this dude had to be 6'9", Addie, you think? Like 6'9", probably, like a big cowboy hat wearing dude. His knees were in his chin. Sorry, dude. Yeah.
Gotta love travel.
Yeah, it's glamorous.
Already looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's glamorous. All right, What do you got to know as you go through your day? What are people going to be talking about? Lobo basketball is scheduled Santa Clara. Home and home. They'll play them in the Pit on December 6th. Next year, they'll go to Santa Clara. That's kind of the highlight, at least as of now, and I don't know that we're going to get another one, of your home basketball non-conference schedule. There's a story that came out this morning about a bullet that was fired through the window and into the office of Chiefs coach Andy Reid. It happened back in May of 2024, but the story is just now coming out. He was unharmed. He's now got bulletproof glass in his office. He was working. It was in May. It was after midnight. I mean, dude was still grinding in his office. I mean, what tells you grinder more than that? But that's going to be talked about today. Micah is still unsigned by the Cowboys, Micah Parsons, but Brian Schottenheimer believes he will be there for the opener. How about this one? I found this, Rich. Urban Meyer wants Jim Harbaugh suspended by the NFL.
Man, it happened to Jim Tressel, so it happened to Jim Harbaugh.
He said it happened to Jim Tressel, so it should happen to Jim Harbaugh. The former Ohio State coach, Urban Meyer, who still has an incredible voice, man, after everything that went down, and as bad as his NFL thing went, he wants the NFL to suspend Jim Harbaugh. He's not. I mean, I don't know that. Do you think there's any? Give me anything. Is there any merit there? Did Jim Harbaugh do anything that would warrant suspension by the NFL?
The only thing is that the NFL. Well, so Harbaugh got a show cause, right?
He got a 10-year show cause.
So that just means, how does the NFL match that? What they did with Jim Tressel is like, oh, you were suspended X amount of games. Well, we're going to do that same thing in the NFL when he went to try to work for the Colts.
But first of all, a show cause isn't even suspension. Sharon Moore got suspended 3 games. It's different. All right, thanks to Jerry Palm. He was with us today from palmbrackets.com. Go check out his new website. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is next. The Jim Rome Show follows that. 2 Men On comes in at 4. You get Isotopes in Las Vegas after that. The Opening Drive returns with award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great job on the visuals. Appreciate you on the TV side. He is J.J. Buck. I am merely Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Hey, be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we shall smell you tomorrow.
I grew up here, New Mexico.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273